8 months and a child is still separated from his Guatemalan family.
The boy is staying at a shelter in the valley. Channel 5's Valerie Gonzalez explains a guideline meant to protect him is standing in the way of his release.
The father and son crossed through McAllen in May. The dad was deported. His child is still here. The parents wanted the boy released to a couple they've approved. A new federal policy means the boy can't leave the government's custody for now. For 9 months, the federal government has kept this 9-year-old boy in the U.S. He's at the Baptist Child and Family Services facility in Raymondville. Attorney Ricardo de Anda just visited the Guatemalan boy who came into the U.S.
Didn't speak a word of Spanish, only spoke Quiche, which is a native Mayan tongue. Now he speaks Spanish like a pro. He learned Spanish in detention because that's the only way he could relate to the other children around him.
He's alone because his dad was deported to Guatemala. Danda says his father was misinformed about his rights as an asylum seeker.
Dad was told by the immigration officials that if he persisted in his asylum claim, that his son would be adopted, would be taken from him and adopted, because he was going to have to stay in jail, and it was going to take up to 2 years, and Byron could not stay with him in jail. And so Byron would probably be adopted. So rather than lose his son, he signed a waiver form.
The boy's family faced other options. The government could deport his son back to Guatemala. That's not an option for the father who fled their home country. He claims he was tied to a pole, tortured, and stabbed for his faith. He was warned by the gangs they'd hurt his son too. The other option was to have him released to custodians in the U.S. A couple based in Austin with a steady income and a socially active lifestyle agreed to house their child. One thing stands in the way. The Office of Refugee Resettlement now requires a host family to know the asylum-seeking family before they enter the United States.
This is the first time that they've absolutely stiffed the parents and say, we're not going to listen to you. We're going to decide where your children are going to be.
Danda says the child has cycled through 4 shelters during the time he's been in custody. The family worries about his well-being.
He's been placed in an institution where he doesn't have one-to-one support and love. And it's heartbreaking to put a child through this.
The government was served with a lawsuit in this case today. We reached out to the Office of Refugee Resettlement. We have yet to receive a response. Danda also cites the Flores settlement agreement as a reason to oppose the pre-existing relationship requirement. The agreement created protections for immigrant children in custody. In the studio, Valerie Gonzalez, Channel 5 News at 6.